Hello, everybody, and welcome to May's book club, Money Mindful Book Club. I am going to make my screen a little bit bigger. That's better. Welcome. Let me know if you are here. I think there's always just a slight delay from when I go on to when you hear me. So if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up in the comments or say hi so I know that all the technical stuff is working. And while we're waiting for everybody to come on, Nikki, hi. My name is Megan Jean Smith. I am a life coach for women who want to make change in their life. And I am also the host of the Money Mindful podcast and the host of this book club. So welcome, and I'm thrilled to have you here with me tonight. Hi, Trish. Hi, Ella. Hi, Nidhi. Great to have you here. So tonight we are discussing Marie Forleo's book, Everything is Figureoutable. Yay, such a great book. Hi, Emily. Hi, Tale. Great to see you here. Okay, so let's get into it. So let me look at my notes. I'm getting distracted already. Yeah. Okay, so the reason why I picked this book this month for book club is that, one, I think in general, women are notorious for, I think, just being a little bit limited in our beliefs about what we can create in terms of money. And also because it's just been a bit of a crazy time. Like, I don't even want to say the words, but we all know where we've been at over the last couple of months, and we've had to figure things out. We've had to learn to do things differently, and we've all had a lot of challenges. So I thought that Everything is Figureoutable was the perfect book for this month's book club. Anna, hi. Okay, so let's get a quick roll call. Where's everybody tuning in from? I know where some of you are tuning in from, but let's get a quick location in the comments. All right, so if you've just joined me, say hi. Let us know where you are in the comments. Where are you watching from? Kangaroo Island. Awesome. And who's in their PJs? I'll have you know, I do have Ugg boots on under the table here, but you can't see them. I have to kind of be like professional up top, casual down bottom, no problem. Bundaberg in Queensland, Sweden. Yay. And from Cozy Bed in Rockhampton, Emily, awesome. Tale's in her jammies, excellent. Nikki from Queensland as well. Okay, terrific, great. All right, so I thought that I would kick off tonight with my own Everything is Figureoutable story. So at various points in the book, people share their Everything is Figureoutable story, and I wanted to tell you mine. Oh wow, Angelica from Italy, awesome! Wow, it's international tonight. I love it. In fact, it will be lunchtime for you, yeah, in Italy. I don't think it's nighttime. Anyway, I'm not 100% sure. We're having lunch, no PJs. Okay, terrific. So I wanted to share with you that 18 months ago, I did not have a podcast, and I did not have a book club, and I did not have an emerging business where I was working as a life coach. And I won't go into it in great detail because I have mentioned it before, but the podcast was born from an idea from a weekly investment conversation I had with a girlfriend, and I just thought, wouldn't it be great to share this with other women, to be able to hear about what's possible and create more financially for themselves. And I just did it. I had no idea how to make a podcast. And in fact, I had no idea how to do Instagram. Like, guys, I was terrible. Like, I was messaging my cousins going, how do you do this story stuff? Well, how do you put music on the background of things? Like, everything I really didn't know. But what I did know is that I really wanted to help other women learn about money. And I just thought, I can do this. So I figured it out, and I figured a lot of things out. I figured out how to put a website together with the help of someone with some of the background stuff. And I worked out how to do editing and recording and getting the music done for the intro and outro. And then as time went on, I worked out how to have guests on the show and how to record with people in different locations. And, I guess like lots of things happened along the way where I thought, I don't know how to do this. And my brain kind of wanted to shut down and feel like it was all too hard. In fact, last month, we almost didn't have Natasha on as a guest on book club because you can't have guests on a business Facebook page for some reason in a live. And so I thought, okay, well, I guess we can't do that. And then it was like, no, I'm going to figure this out. And I did. And now look, we've got this fancy little streaming service with a banner. And I guess I really just want to share this with you because imagine if I hadn't have had that belief that I can figure this out. We wouldn't be here tonight. I wouldn't have a podcast. I wouldn't be talking to you here now. And I also wouldn't have a coaching business. So it really hit home for me this week when I got a message from someone in Facebook who is part of book club, and they were having a really challenging time. And they just felt like they'd kind of hit a barrier. But then she just remembered everything that we had been learning in the book, that everything is figureoutable. And she was up in the middle of the night and she started writing herself a plan and she started figuring it out. So I just feel so inspired by this, and it's such an amazing belief to adopt. And I'm wondering if any of you guys are doing that now or already doing it. Like, who has that in their life that they think that, yeah, I'm going to figure this out. Everything is figureoutable. Tell me in the comments, please. We'll have time later. It would be great to share some stories of how people have figured things out. All right, let's keep things moving. All right, how to get the best out of book club. I forgot to jump into that. A lot of you, I know you've been here before, so you know the deal. Join in, be a part of it. What you have to say matters, and we want to hear from you, and your thoughts and comments are valid, and I want to be able to share that with everybody. All right. Who's read the book? That's always the first question. Let's see. Oh, there's always a delay. I'm sorry, guys, because whenever I say something, it takes a while to be able to hear you. Who's read it? Yes, Nikki, 100%. Everything is figureoutable now and every day, though. I think that's what that says. Okay, me, yes, definitely have that thought. The book is fantastic. I know, right, Tale? Nikki's read it. Great. Trisha's read it. Nidhi is on chapter 8 and plan to finish it by the end of the month. Yeah, good on you, Nidhi. It's just full of so many gems. All right. And that was another thing too. Last month, I said to you guys that we wouldn't have Marie Forleo on as a guest in this book club. And then I just had a moment where I was like, what? what am I doing? Why don't I just email? And so I did email her team. And as some of you may know who have followed me on Instagram, they sent us, I've got it kind of folded over because I'm about to use it. They sent us this book club reading guide, which is really cool. So I'm going to use that tonight and we'll just get into it. But let me read the comments. Tale says, very helpful for me at the moment. I'm trying to start writing board charters for my company, something I've never done before. The book is helping me feel more confident. Yeah, totally. Because we don't have to go to that default mode of confusion. We can actually just decide, I'm going to work this out, because we don't know how to do things when we haven't done them before, and that's okay. We're working it out. All right, so first question. Are you ready, ladies? So exciting having a list of questions somebody else has written. So I have to look off screen to be able to read it a little bit. But the first questions are about our beliefs. So question 1 says, have you ever heard a voice that said, this ain't it, you're meant for something more? What was it trying to tell you? What did you do when you heard that voice? Angelica says, oh, you're so brave, Megan. You wrote to Team Forleo. I love that. Yeah, I did it. And they responded. How good is that? You've just got to do stuff, ladies. And can I just say, sorry, I don't want this to all be about me, but because I did that, I got the courage to also email another really big author, international author who I really respect and admire. And guess what? We're reading his book next month and I'm interviewing him tomorrow for the podcast, and that will be out next month. So I cannot wait to share that with you, but I'll tell you about that at the end of this. Let's stick with the questions. So question 1, have you ever heard a voice that says, this ain't it, you're meant for something more? Totally. Tell me when you have thought that. I have felt like that. It's like life's not that bad. It's not like everything's awful or anything like that, but I just feel like there's more that I can do. There's more to this life. And and we can do more with our lives. I totally felt that before I started doing the podcast. What about you, ladies? You're all a little bit quieter tonight. Is the questions, maybe they take a while to type out. Who's ever felt like they were capable of more? Yeah, Nikki says, yes, I've heard that voice. Yeah, totally. Like it's for me, it's like a yearning, like a yearning that I'm capable of more. Emily says, I've always thought I could do more. I finally started a blog and IG based on my passion of personal finance. Loving it so far. Emily, you are awesome. That is so terrific. And I follow Emily on Instagram. And in fact, Emily, is it Emily on Money? Correct me if I'm wrong, but put it in the comments, Emily, if I'm not saying it right. But I'm pretty sure Emily is Emily on Money in Instagram, and she has a great page, so check her out. Tale says, yes, definitely have that voice several times. Tale, just a bit of behind the scenes knowledge. I actually know Tale, and I know that she is a powerhouse doing incredible things at the moment with business. And I'm actually a bit in awe, Tale. And so I'm really thrilled that you're here joining us tonight. Anna says, I have thought that so many times, but thanks to coaching with you, it's so much better now. So thanks. Anna, thank you. Nikki says, I feel like something is missing and I'm working on filling that void. Yeah, I can relate to that, Nikki. I really can. Oh, Tale, thanks. I have imposter syndrome, so that is lovely to hear. Ladies, Tale is like a mad businesswoman who has created this whole amazing security company. And yeah, like what the heck? Why do we do this to ourselves? You know, it's like we do these amazing things and still feel like, yeah, not quite good enough. Nidhi says, does being grateful for little things rather than forgetting about them, especially when times get tough? Every day is a blessing, I feel. Love how this book definitely encourages to go for it and not worry too much about what might happen. Yes, absolutely. Allah says, yes, definitely. Heard the voice and went from receptionist to project manager within 3 years. Hell yeah. That is awesome, Allah. And yeah, exactly. Tali says, okay, so question 2, you can keep putting your responses in. I'll read them out. Is what's a belief you have that's bolstered you to keep you going when nothing seemed to work out the way that you'd hoped? So I guess for me, it's the fact that it's not everything is figureoutable. It's I can work this out. That's the belief I have. Like whenever I get stuck on something, I'm like, okay, no, I can work this out. And I tell my brain, you can work this out. And then I go to work and work it out. What about you ladies? All the comments come through really quickly. Other people can do it. Why not me? That is my thought. Aha, yes. Yes. I'm just going to keep being true to me and see what happens. Yeah, I love that. And Tale, I think that's a great point. It's when you see that other people can do it, it's like, well, yeah, if they can do it, why not me? Exactly. That's how I feel about bringing people on as guests on the podcast to expose other women to what's possible. It's like, hey, women are doing this stuff, you can do it too. So I really can relate to that. Trish says, my belief is that I'm worth it and I can work it out and I'll get there, even if it's baby steps. Yes, totally. And that's the thing. It doesn't matter how quickly you get there or how long it takes you. Like the first example that comes to mind, let's just say you wanted to lose 20 kilos or something, and the person who's lost 20 kilos with the result is not going to be worried that the first plan you didn't work out. Like it wouldn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if we make these mistakes along the way. Like if you put yourself in that position where you've already achieved it. Tale says, I like that, Trish. Yes. And Nidhi, everything is figureoutable, reinforcement of the right thoughts to get there. Absolutely. All right. So the last question to do with beliefs is, what's a belief you have that's harmed you? Where did that belief come from? And how can you either dismiss that harmful belief or reframe that story in your mind? And for me, it's totally like, oh, you're not good enough. And, I don't know exactly where that has come from. I listen to a lot of podcasts where I hear women talk about this idea that we kind of diminish ourselves, like women who are powerful women who earn a lot of money, who are confident. We usually tend to kind of knock them down a little bit. And I think that's a societal thing, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's just indoctrination that you're not good enough belief, but I don't actually know anybody who doesn't have that belief at some stage. And, I'm not saying that you sit in it 24/7, but it rises its ugly head every now and again. Trish says, I love your example. I've just lost 48 kilograms and now have a job with the weight loss company as a weight loss coach. Trish, you are on fire, girl. Tale, the thought is not good enough. Angelica says, harmful belief Who do you think you are? Yes. Yes. And Angelique, I felt like that when I started the podcast. It was like, well, who am I to start a podcast about money? I'm not a financial advisor. It's like the river runs deep, and you have to just go, okay, hello thought, you're not good enough, or who do you think you are? Yes, I know that that's a cozy, comfortable thought. It's like a jacket that fits really well, but you know what? I'm not going to wear that today, and I'm going to wear my I can figure this out jacket today. Nidhi, yeah. Wow. Trish, amazing. Tale says, not good enough, definitely from my dad, unfortunately. Okay, I just kept trying different and fun adventures and find value in myself that way. Yeah. Nidhi says, harmful belief, what if it goes the wrong way? And I try to tell myself when that thought pops up to say, no, it won't, and to have faith in the positive side of it. Yeah, what if we get it wrong? What if we make a mistake? Angelique says, oh, I love the jacket metaphor. Yeah. It's like we wear our beliefs, or my coach likes to say, like, there's some beliefs that I have that aren't really serving me. And she's like, yeah, you're going back and rolling around in the shit pile. And I'm like, I love that shit pile. Sorry, excuse my language. I do swear quite a bit. I try not to do it when I'm live. Okay, we'll just keep it nice. All right. Nikki says, harmful belief, I don't know how. Yeah. And it's not true, Nikki, because you do know how. These are the lies we tell ourselves. It's a lot easier to stay in confusion because it keeps us safe. It keeps us from doing anything. Like, even though it doesn't feel that comfortable, it's the comfortable feeling that we know, and we'd rather feel uncomfortable being comfortable than uncomfortable, like, in a new way. I think I said uncomfortable a lot of times there. Trish says, not having anything I did be respected and seen as what I did wasn't really any good. Yeah. And, that's up to us, Trish, to take responsibility for our own thoughts about ourselves and just be like, actually, it's up to me to respect myself and up to me to see myself as good enough. And I'm kind of learning that the hard way now. When I get a bad review or something, I have to remember that, it's actually, I get to decide how I feel about my podcast and this book club, and other people get to be wrong about me, in my opinion, but they can have that opinion, and that's okay. So yeah, but I get that. It's hard sometimes when people say stuff about you. Tale says, the book uses a lot of similar techniques to acceptance and commitment therapy. Okay, I haven't heard of that, Tale. I'm going to Google that. It is great that disentangling the thoughts and not assigning meaning to the thought is really valuable. Yeah, I like that too. I'm just trying to scroll down. Okay, Angelique says, I don't mind you swearing. Sometimes it is the color we need in the language. Yeah, good. I know some people are offended by swearing, but I guess they probably wouldn't be listening to the podcast. I don't swear that much, though. I try to keep it, because I was a school teacher, I tried not to swear on the podcast. Yes, same. I often worry about people thinking I'm an idiot when I'm trying to figure out what to do. Yeah, because when we're starting something new and learning something new, we're supposed to be an expert at it, right? This is the stuff we tell ourselves. It's ridiculous when you actually step back from it and, like, step out of yourself, as in looking, being the watcher of your own behavior and your own thoughts. It's really, amazing the crazy stuff we say to ourselves. Like, yeah, I'm starting something new and I should be an expert at it. All right, moving on. Challenges, excuses, and fear. What's the biggest challenge in your life right now where the everything is figureoutable philosophy would help? How can you start applying the everything is figureoutable attitude to this challenge today? Okay, what are you doing? So mine is I have started a business. I have some coaching clients and it's new, and I'm working out all the back end stuff of the business. So the bookkeeping, the marketing, the working out the fancy new website layout, all of that stuff is really challenging me at the moment because it's all new. And yeah, I really have to apply this every day just to keep going, to be like, I can do this. This is Figureoutable. Trish says, yes, not letting other opinions affect me has been very hard to deal with. Yeah, but it's a great feeling when you don't let it affect you. Absolutely, Trish. And you know what? Like, I think it's not even that, we don't let it affect us. Like, it's okay to be like, oh, yeah, I don't feel good when that person says that. But then it's like you get to decide how you want to move forward with that. Tali says back-end stuff is hard. Yeah, that takes so much time to organize. Totally, Tali. It's like this, you can be really good at a skill, but then when you of what you're actually doing in the business. But then when you go into business, you have to learn all the business skills, which is a whole nother set of skills. So yeah, I'm in that learning curve right now. Trish says, trying to find another part-time job, becoming a single mum, just trying to figure it out how I'm supposed to do it all. Yeah. Well, Trish, you're a single mum, and basically single mums are badasses. I just interviewed someone on the podcast who's a single mum. It's coming out next month. And every single mum I know is a total badass because you just do it. Like, that's it. You're doing it, and you're already doing it. Yeah? You can do it all. Like, that's what we tell ourselves, that we can't do it all, but it's bullshit because we do it. We do it all. We stay up late with the kids at night and we get up and we still go out and find a job and we do what we need to do. You've got this. You've got this, Trish. Nidhi says, trying to find the right side hustle. Nidhi, tell us more. What are you wanting to create more income, or is it a passion project? Tale says, I agree with the single mum badass sentiment. Amazing women. Hell yeah. Yeah. So good. We actually do it all. Yes, Anna, we do it all. And we do everything that we do up here too, all the thoughts that go along with it. So either the negative thoughts that kind of make it harder for ourselves to do it, or the positive thoughts that bolster us along. Trish says, I will be a badass because everything is figureoutable. You are a badass, Trish, totally now, already. Own it. Nikki, this book has been fabulous to help with mindset. Yes, I am looking at starting an online business currently. Oh, Nikki, that's awesome. Something I've wanted to pursue for years, but always have talked myself out of it. Yeah, Nikki, the time is now. Yeah, start before you're ready. I mean, I know so many of the sayings in the book, they're kind of catchy and gimmicky, but at the same time, they're like totally on point. It's progress, not perfection. Start before you're ready. Like, Nikki, if you just spend, I'm just going to pick a random time, like 15 minutes a day on this project, or 2 hours every weekend, in a few months' time, you will actually be on the way to getting that happening. It's just that first step. You've got to take the first step. Tale says, my hardest challenge is not comparing myself to more experienced people and just get my thoughts down on paper. Yeah. But those experienced people aren't you, and they don't have your experiences. And also, something that really stood out to me, and it might have been Gary Vee, I can't remember, but it was it was something along the lines of don't compare your day 5 in the gym with that person who's totally ripped their day 500. Yeah, and I think that's something really, really important. Stay in your own lane with where you're at. Meet yourself exactly where you're at right now. Okay. Nidhi says, yes, create more income ideally from my passion of photography. Yes, Nidhi, you take beautiful photographs. I've just started following Nidhi recently on Instagram. I found her, followed her back, and yeah, you take beautiful photos, Nidhi. So good luck with that. Tale says, I love the start before you are ready. Yeah, absolutely. Just do it. Where am I? Sorry, the comments are going a bit fast now, so I'm just scrolling back through. Nikki says, yes, I am. Oh, good on you, Nikki. Aiming for 2 hours a day, like in the book. Yes. Go, girl. Trish, yes, I love the start before you're ready chapter. Yep, me too. Tale says, I'm not great at finance, but I'm great at culture and values. Yes, that is my strength. I learn or outsource the rest. Yeah, that's right. You're welcome, Nidhi. Your photos are gorgeous. All right, moving on. Next question. Okay. All right. This is a good one. You guys will all relate to this. Out of the 3 excuses, I don't have time, I don't have money, and I don't know where to start, which one do you find yourself using most often? Are those excuses really true when you dig deep, or is there fear holding you back? What can you do to work past those excuses starting right now? And we've already been talking about that. I don't have time. Yeah. Well, Tale, Beyonce has the same amount of hours that we do. And she accomplishes a lot. Angelica says, I don't know where to start. Yeah, absolutely. So with the time one, time is a really interesting concept. And in my opinion, it's actually the most valuable thing we have. More than money, more than anything, because we can't get time back. Once we use time, it's gone. But we can use money to create more time. I don't know where, Trish says, I don't know where to start. Time, yeah. Ladies, I would be very happy to share something with you. Maybe I can do a podcast episode on it, but I manage my time really well now. And I manage my thoughts about it, but that's the main thing about not thinking that I don't have enough time, because when you think you don't have enough time, your actions support that for you, right? But when you think that you do have enough time, it's not just as simple as, oh, la-di-da, I'll just think this nice thought. But when you deliberately create thoughts about time and managing time and planning ahead, I do scheduling now where I would get double the amount of stuff done that I used to get done. So there's definitely work that you can do on with that, and I'm more than happy to share that with you. I won't go into it now because it's not part of book club. But Emily says time. Trish says, oh yeah, sorry, I said that. Don't know where to start. Alice says, I don't have time. Definitely not true, which has become clearer now. I don't have to commute to work. Yeah, we use the time we have. We have more time and we use it up. Nidhi, I don't know where to start is the one for me, and I think it's fear holding me back sometimes. Totally, guys. Perfectionists. We are our own worst enemy. We don't want to get started because we might make a mistake, or we might do the wrong thing, or we might do it the wrong way. What if we just got started and we did make a mistake? Or we did fail at getting the first side hustle off the ground? guess what? You're in no worse off situation. You're still in exactly the same situation as you are now. But now you've learned something because you've tried something and it hasn't worked, but you're able to learn from that. Get started. Tale says, starting meditating again, and it takes 40 minutes a day, but gives me an extra 2 hours. Yes. Yeah. Yep. It's amazing certain things that we do that seem like they take time, but in actual fact, they give us more time. That's a really great one to share. Thanks, Tale. Nikki says, I don't know where or how to start. Nidhi, wow, sounds great. I'm not sure, Nidhi, if you're talking about the time thing. Trish says, I get so flustered and make a mountain out of molehill, and it takes me a bit to calm my thoughts and reset and focus. Yeah, totally. And sometimes in the moment, it is much harder. And that's why planning is really helpful, because when you plan ahead of time, you're accessing your prefrontal cortex, which is our like decision-making part of our brain. Whereas when we are flustered and doing things in the moment, we're using our primitive brain back here, where we just want to avoid pain and seek pleasure. That's what our primitive brain does. And so we get flustered and it all seems too hard. So let's go under the doona and eat another chocolate bar, because that's a much better idea for our primitive brain. Emily says, I'd love to hear more about that, Megan. I'll keep an eye on the podcast. Okay, noted. Nidhi says, would love to know more about time management, Megan. All right, I'll do it. I try and use my values or goals to help me manage time. Yeah, that's great, Tale. Would love a podcast about time management. All right, I hear you. I will do it. Okay, moving on. So, what's something you're afraid to do or create or become that's not an actual life or death fear? How can you reframe those feelings of fear and interpret them in a way that helps you? And I'll give you an example of this. It's like if you have to go and do like a presentation at work and you feel afraid, like to be the one who's standing up at the desk giving the presentation. Our brain doesn't connect that, like our brain still is like illogical. It's trying to keep us safe from, the predator tiger that is going to kill us. But in actual fact, modern things that happen that cause us to feel fear, like doing an office presentation, is not actually going to kill us. But our body still experiences those feelings like it is. And we have to remind ourselves and tell ourselves, use our prefrontal cortex, that it's okay, brain. No tiger is going to eat us. Our life is not in danger. I'm just standing in front of my work colleagues. Angelique says, I feel I'm actually scared to become wealthy. Scary to realize this, but it's true. Yeah. Because people with money are assholes and they're greedy and they're not nice people. That's how we think about wealthy people. That is like the general consensus. And I mean, I don't agree with that. I don't think that's true. I think the more wealthy you become, it just amplifies the person that you already are today. So if you're not a nice person now and you make more money, you're not going to be a nice person with more money. If you're a kind and generous and loving person now, you're going to be a kind and generous and loving person with a lot of money. And what do you think a kind and generous and loving person with a lot of money might do? Yeah, there's a lot of great things that you can do with money. So dispel that belief, those beliefs about what it's like to have money, because they're really damaging, I think, and they hold us back. Nidhi says, I love quoting I get to instead of I have to. Yes, yes. And this is so powerful, especially with things like the time. Like if you've got a lot of stuff on in a day, that's a great way to think about it. It's like, I get to do these things. I've chosen to do these things. Yeah. I mean, I use that a lot, Nidhi, with cleaning and things like that I'm not really into. It's like, yeah, I get to clean my house because I want to. I want to have a clean house. I'm actually choosing to do that, even though I don't love the cleaning so much. Tale, the marketing, oh, I've lost you. It's jumped. The marketing company we are using wants me to do an interview with a technology magazine, and I want to, but I'm also terrified. Terrified of not giving the right message across or being found out that I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, yeah. But, terrified, like nothing's gone wrong here, right? Like, what's the worst that can happen? You fuck it up. Like, you're still alive. Your kids are all still fine. It's really interesting what we tell ourselves. Angelique, and wealthy people are scared to lose their wealth. Yeah. Yeah. Like if you're in scarcity mindset, you don't have money. And then when you get money, you're scared to let it go. Yeah. And you don't want to spend the money. Tale, give it away. Hello, philanthropy. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Go for it, Tale, for sure. Okay. Keep coming with the comments, but I'll read out the next question. Okay. So these are all about, it's about progress, not perfection. On the days when you feel like you suck and you're not the real deal, okay, Tale, you're going to relate to this one. What triggers that feeling? Who can you call and what can you do to quiet that negative inner voice? Make a list and keep it close. Tough days will always happen, but they don't have to stop you. So I get a lot of coaching. Like I mean, I am a coach, but then also I have a coach. And so I get coaching, like whatever comes up for me, like Tale, what you were just saying then, like if I had something that I was feeling terrified about, I would get coaching on it. So I could manage my thoughts around it and create the feeling that I want to create, which wouldn't be terrified. It might be confident or whatever it is. But if I don't have a coach on hand, or I can't coach myself out of it because of my own coaching skills, I listen to podcasts or I do something where it's, I know it's a positive message that will get my brain's attention and click me out of it. Tally says, yep, get it wrong and I'll figure out how to fix it up. Yeah. Julie, hello, welcome. So great for you to join us. Join in, Julie. We are answering some questions right now. You can write them in the comments as you hear them. Tale, have a couple of girlfriends that I message. We're each other's metaphorical cheer squad. Yeah, that's awesome. We all need something because we all do it. Nidhi says, talking to my husband and my bestie is my therapy. Yeah, great one. Coaching is a great idea. It is, Tale. Life-changing. Trish, I message a good friend and she always talks reason with me and builds me up. Yeah, fantastic. Yes, podcasts are go-to for me. Yeah, Nikki, absolutely. All right. Question 11. Oh, and we're getting down to the final question now. So what's an area of your life where you could cut down on distractions so you have more time and space to go for your dreams? Smartphones, social media, email, and meal planning are just a few of the examples Marie gives. What will you do with the free time you have when you cut those things out or limit your time on them? And I'll be interested to hear, Nikki, how you're creating that extra 2 hours in a day that you mentioned before that you were doing. I have an app on my phone, and sometimes I'm ashamed to say, like, when I look at how many hours I've spent on social media. I mean, I go on social media to market the podcast. Like, there's parts of it that I'm on there deliberately and intentionally, but there's also times when I'm not on there deliberately and intentionally, and it's a complete time waster for me. And I could definitely carve out more time in my day just from reducing my social media. And also, another tip that I do is I put my phone totally away when I'm working. I actually put it completely out of my sight. Like, sometimes I'll leave it in a different room so that when I'm working, I get to work. So if I've got a few hours when the kids are at school, it's like boom, 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 get it done. No distractions. Facebook. Trish says, Facebook, I'm shocking. I know, right? They're so well designed. It's like sucks us in. Julie says, my podcasts don't go much beyond true crime and pop culture these days. I must expand my repertoire. Yeah, Julie, you should be listening to the Money Mindful podcast. Nidhi says, I have recently installed an app which monitors the screen time on social media and blocks the app if I exceed the set time. Hardcore, Nidhi. I love it. I've spent on social media for the day, loving it, using the extra time to read and learn. That is such a good tip. Nidhi, can you put the app in the comments, please? Because I'm sure I am not the only one who would like to know what that app is. Trish says, having a timetable on my fridge where I map out my day, and each night I write a to-do list for the next day. Yeah, Trish, that's it. Planning ahead of time, using your prefrontal cortex. Nikki says, I've been waking up 1 hour earlier before the kids wake up, around 5 a.m. Good on you, Nikki. And sorry, it's just jumped. And another hour during the day while they are at school. I have to mindfully schedule the time. Yeah, you have to do it deliberately, don't you? Yeah, and that's what she says in the book. Ella says, I converted some of my time wasting scrolling through social media into reading the last book club book. Yay! Tale, I have cut time with social media, and reading the news online has given me space to start learning Italian. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I'm on day 2 and want to keep going. Awesome, Tale. I love that. Oh, well, you should speak to Angelica. She's here from Italy. You guys need to connect. Emily, swapping evening scrolling for working on something that benefits me. Yeah, go, Emily. That's awesome. Trish says, oh, what's it called? App is Stay Free. Stay Free. Okay, thank you, Nidhi. So the app to monitor our phones, to cut us off social media, Stay Free. Tale says, the to-do list the night before is so useful. Hang on. Helps me sleep better. Yes. Yeah. I plan my whole week on Sunday night. Everything is time blocked. Like my free time, my time with the kids, everything. And also my not doing anything time. And yeah, pretty much stick to it. And that way I know everything that is going to get done, because if it's on the calendar and I've allowed 2 hours for it, it has to be done in that 2 hours, and it gets done. Nidhi, this one is for Android, and I think iPhone have an inbuilt app screen time. Yes, my iPad does have, iPhone does have screen time, but I'm not sure whether I can, I'll see. I'll figure that out, Nidhi. I'm going to have a look at it and see if I can set it to cut me off. Tale says, some mindless scrolling can be a good downtime of nothing. Yeah, totally, if it's what you want to do. Yes, not doing anything time is important too. Yeah, I schedule that first. Angelica says, I want to know more about this, how you plan your timetable. Can't wait. Oh, okay. You'll be waiting at least a month because I do everything 4 weeks in advance on the podcast, but I will do it, ladies. I will do it. Okay, so second last question from the guide. Do you have a fixed mindset, the belief that is that born talent is all that matters, or a growth mindset, the belief that hard work and perseverance is how you get ahead? For the areas in your life where you have a fixed mindset, what can you do to transform that into a growth mindset? What will you commit to shifting in your thinking and in your actions? Now, growth mindset and fixed mindset is becoming much more mainstream now. In fact, it's taught in schools, like some schools teach about it. Marie talks about it in the book. And from memory, I think she actually mentions Carol Dweck's book, but the book Mindset by Carol Dweck is a fantastic book all about how to have a growth mindset, she says that we actually have both. We have elements of both in different areas of our life, but in general, the people who go on to succeed and have success with whatever it is that they're trying to achieve generally have a growth mindset, because if they fail once, they just figure it out. Like what did I do right? What went wrong? What do I need to improve on for next time? And then they have another go. That's growth mindset. Whereas fixed mindset is like, I didn't make the soccer team. Obviously, I'm just not good enough. Yeah, I wasn't born to be a soccer player. Guys, learning about that, about our mindset, is so powerful. I highly recommend her book Mindset, and also another book called Grit by Angela Duckworth. Actually, both of those books are on my website. So if you want to check them out, I've done a little write-up. It's in the resource links under books. You can go and check it out there. Tale says, growth mindset, I definitely have that. For sure. You've built a business. Absolutely. Trish, growth mindset. Anyone who has lost 48 kilograms, I think that's what you said, is growth mindset. You have to change. Like, Trish, you would be a different person. Am I right? Like, you are not the same person you were when you were 48 kilos heavier. You have to become a new person to inhabit that being, I think, to be the woman who's 48 kilos lighter. And I'm not just talking about all the weight, but it's like the woman who would do that. Growth mindset mostly. Nidhi says, I'm planning to read Grit next month. Nidhi, it is so good. Read it. I absolutely love that book. It's much more mindset and grit. I mean, you might not, depending on your reading habits, like, this is really lightweight. Like, it's so positive and it's easy to get through. Grit and mindset are easy to get through, but they're more, I think, I think it's just they're a little bit heavier, but they're both great books. Definitely recommend them. Trish says, totally different person. My mindset has totally changed. Yeah, of course it has. Yeah. Okay. All right. So last question from Marie's book guide. And this is, Marie ends the book with stories from everyday people who have used the everything is figureoutable philosophy to transform their lives. Have you ever had an everything is figureoutable moment in your life? How did you feel during that process? So I told my story at the start. I mean, there's so many, but I mean, like in everyday life, and I love the way that Marie talks about her mum in the first chapter. I'm just like, just figure it out, just work it out. I'd love to hear your stories. I think, Trish, you've told us one through your comments about the weight loss. I mean, that would have taken some figuring out how to do that. I'm just imagining you guys all like typing in your little stories, or you can give us an example. All right, and while I'm waiting to hear your comments come up, another thing that I want to get you thinking about is what was the one main thing you learned from the book? What's your one big takeaway from the book? Okay, Angelica says, oh yes, so many. Getting through boarding school, graduating from uni, starting my own business. Angelica, tell us more about that. What's your business? Trish says the other night that I messaged you about. Share that with us, Trish. Can I share that? Tale says, yes, starting a tech company. Failed first year computer science at uni in 1996. Started my learning journey for my tech company by reading Coding for Dummies. Tale, respect. I really respect you. You actually, really inspire me. I'm repeating myself. I'm like a fangirl, but yeah, I really hold you in high esteem. I think what you've done is incredible. Okay, so Trish is actually the person that I was talking about before, who basically is a newly single mum. She's got 3 boys, and she went for a job interview, and then it kind of triggered something for her, and she felt really anxious about it and about all the work, the extra work that she would have to do to manage doing a part-time job and all the work that already she's doing, and her partner not really like standing up to his part of the bargain. Trish, I hope I'm getting this story correct for you, and I apologize if I don't get it exactly correct. But anyway, she thought back to everything that we had been reading in the book, got up in the night, started writing a plan. Her anxiety went away. She contacted the people that she was already doing a small amount of work for her. They offered her more hours. She got the first payment through from her ex-partner for parental payment, and she also contacted a lawyer to get the rest of that stuff sorted out. And yeah, she figured it out. So I love that, Trish. Like, I cried when you sent me that message. I just was like, oh, it makes me cry now. I'm so glad that you found this book club, and I'm so glad you read this book, and I really appreciate that you shared that story with me, and I just love it that you're doing it. It's awesome. All right, Trish says, thanks, had to muddle around and figure stuff out all the time, had to set up office in Singapore. Oh no, this is Tale saying, asked for lots of help. Yeah, we have to get help. Angelica says, Megan, thanks for asking. Makes me feel included and cared for. Thank you for this wonderful space. I teach teenagers and am a language coach. Tale needs to talk to you, Angelica. And here is how I describe what I do. Inspiring confidence and self-growth for teenage learners of English. That is awesome. I love that. Go, Trish. That is awesome, Tale says. Yeah. Totally. I am inspired by you, Trish. Emily says, what an incredible story, Trish. Yeah, totally. Absolutely. All right. So we always, you've helped me without even knowing it. Sorry for sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the tears, but I feel my emotions. Okay. So wrapping up, that there's always homework. I can't help it, former teacher. So what's the one thing that you have learned from the book, and what is the one thing you are going to apply? You're going to do it. You're not just sitting back. You're not just reading the book. It's like, yes, it feels all fuzzy and warm about doing new things, starting a business, starting a side hustle, but then we don't actually do anything, right? What are you going to do? So Nikki's already told us she's getting up earlier and she's creating another hour in the day. Nidhi says, this is Nidhi's figuring it out, making a fresh start in Australia more than a decade ago. Everything is figureoutable. Tale says, this has been the right book at the right time for me. Thanks for doing this, Megan. You are welcome. You're welcome, Tale. What's your biggest takeaways, girls, and what are you going to apply? All right, while I'm waiting for that to come through, Angelica says, I'm going to create an Instagram account for my business. Yes, do it. And when you do it, share it with me so we can all support you and share it. Nikki says, same here. Yes, Nikki, same again. Share it with me. Women in business, we support each other. So I will make sure that I share that if you tell me about it. Tale says, my biggest takeaway is just to get started. Yeah, that's absolutely right. All right, so if anyone else wants to comment, please do. I'll read it. But I want to tell you, moving forward to next month, we will be reading Millionaire Teacher, The 9 Rules of Wealth You Should Have Learned in School by Andrew Hallam. Now, if any of you are interested in investing, you have to read this book. Nikki, definitely this is one for you. So I read this a while ago now, but Andrew was basically the person who inspired me and who got me investing. He explains everything in layman's terms, and it's not a trading book. It's not teaching you how to trade. It's teaching you simple and sound strategies to minimize risk and maximize returns for investing in a really simple way. And I cannot recommend this book more highly. I'm going to get really fancy here and put another banner up. So if you want to get this book, you can get it on the website. And I want to say that if you are loving the content that I'm putting out, if you are really enjoying being part of book club and you love the podcast, you can show that support by buying the books through my website. So I make a very small commission. I think it's around $1 if you buy one of the books through Amazon. But yeah, I make a commission on that, and that is a way that without doing anything extra that you wouldn't normally do, you can support the podcast and support this book club. Oh, look, this is so fancy. That's the website address there, but you all, it's moneymindful.com. You can get to it through any of the tabs up the top. There's a few more comments that I missed. Emily says, I will be finding an extra hour in the day, maybe early in the morning like Nikki. Yes, before the kids wake up. Yep. Trish says, I'm going to find an extra hour to have some me time, study and kick some ass. Yes, Trish, I love it. Nikki, start before you're ready. Nidhi says, I have read this book. What an amazing book. Yes, Nidhi, isn't it so good? I hope you're going to join in the conversation. And, oh my gosh, I think I told you before, I am interviewing Andrew tomorrow. I cannot wait. Okay, Tale says, I definitely need to read the book. Tale, get it. It is really, really good. Ella says, can't wait. And I know Ella is already reading this book. Emily says, very keen for Millionaire Teacher. Angelica, I love being here. Thanks to Megan and to each and every one of you ladies. Angelica, thank you. Thank you for being here. Oh, yes, Nikki, it is super exciting. I emailed him because of reading this book and everything that we've been doing, and he said yes. So, guys, just do it. Start before you're ready. Okay, Trish says, so glad I stumbled across you on Facebook. Love your Instagram, podcast, and Facebook. Thank you, Trish. This has been a great way to spend a Thursday evening with a group of awesome women. Thank you, Tale. Nidhi says, I will join the conversation for sure. Can't wait to hear the interview too. Yes, it'll be coming out mid next month. All right. Let me just quickly check my notes and make sure there was nothing else I wanted to tell you. I think that's everything. All right, ladies. Thank you for a wonderful evening. Nikki says, thank you, Megan. This book club is awesome. Glad to meet so many amazing people. Yes, you guys, yeah, me too. I love meeting you too. All right, have a beautiful evening. Angelica, have a beautiful day. And Anna in Sweden, enjoy the rest of your day. And until next month, get onto it, girls. Figure it out. Let me know if you're reading Millionaire Teacher. Connect with me on Instagram. All right. Bye-bye.